everybody, welcome back to the Craft Beer Hub. I've got another beer review for you, and it is of this. This beer is called Hafn. It is a Helles described as an Orcadian lager, which must be Orcadian, must be something to do with the brewery or the region, because it's from the Orkney Brewery. There you go, there's their little logo there, and that's the can wrap. It's kind of got a very Orkney art kind of pebble. We've got lots of Viking influence, I think, on that can art. Got a couple more of their beers here, because these beers were kindly given to me by the legend, my mate Glenn Perkins. I've known Glenn for a number of years now, top bloke, and I know he's really into his beers. He's even started producing homebrew stuff recently, and he was up in the Orkney Islands with his now fiance, and he very kindly got me some beers, and he said, "Mark, I want you to review these on the channel, and then when you review them, I will drink them with you." So Glenn, get out your Hafn lager, mate. And let's give it a go. It's on the front of the can. It says spicy, lemony, and crisp. There we go. I do like a Helles lager. I will say that. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, I do like a Helles lager, so I'm very, very keen for this. And something that really, really, really gives me hope for this beer is Scottish water in beer is incredibly soft. It's really lets... Obviously, if a beer is 99% water, the water's got to be decent, and the Scottish water is always very, very good. Some of the best beers I've had in terms of actual quality have been from Scottish brewers. Most recently, there was a lager called Snow Goose from Glen Speen, which Crummy kindly got me from Scotland, and it was just lovely. Really, really good. Kind of a very different... That lager was quite different for the reasons that I would have discussed. Did I do a video on it? Probably a live stream, but yeah, the water quality is excellent in Scotland for brewing, and yeah, this looks no different. What have we got then? We've got a beautiful dark golden, verging on getting on for copper beer with subtle carbonation, with a 2-finger white fluffy foamy head. That looks pretty damn good in the glass. Let's get an aroma. Wow, she's a spicy little number, this. Almost smells a bit yeasty. It's kind of got that virgin on Marmite kind of yeast in it. Got hair in my mouth. But I'm getting zesty orange and zesty lemon. Bit of peppery spice. With a lovely straw. With a kind of sweet, grassy, sweet straw aroma that's obviously from the malt. It smells very, very good. Let's go in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Glenn. Wow. Wow. That is a different kind of Helles, I'm telling you that. Wow. Orange and lemon right at the start. Don't get a whole lot of malt in this, which is kind of different. Wow, that finish is really dry. Yeah, spicy, zesty orange, zesty lemon right at the start. Very subtle malt in the middle, but then once you swallow the beer, it amps up. The spice comes in, the pepper. Wow. And it's... Jesus. It's just a different beer. I don't know if I would say it's a Helles. It's not kind of got that typical sweet note that Helles has. It's a very... What it is a very interesting lager. We didn't even talk about the ABV. What was the ABV on this? 4.4. I'd have said it was slightly stronger because it's got so much power in it. Lovely soft water profile. But the back end of the beer turns really, really dry. Very spicy. With a kind of, that stinging nettle grassy thing is in there as well. I'm not the biggest fan of the end of that. If this is meant to be a Helles, or it's an Orcadian Helles. So it's Orkney's take on a Helles. It's not sweet. It's not malt dominant. This beer. It's a very, very spicy, hoppy beer. I'll be interested to read the can in a minute, see what they've used. But having said that, I've nearly done a can of it in like 2 seconds flat. It's very easy drinking, lovely soft water profile. Really lets those flavours dance. But that is a different drinking experience altogether. There is a lot of orange in there. There is a bit of lemon, but actually it says lemony on the can, but I'm getting a lot more orange, and it's kind of towards the back end of the beer, it kind of turns into a slightly burnt orange. I would say, if anything, I would say this is closer to like an IPL, like an India Pale Lager, a very heavily hopped lager. The hops aren't sort of super tropical and all the typical flavours and that I talk about. The hops are very sort of spicy, zesty, punchy, kind of got a bit more of a rustic feel to them than a new age feel, which does work really well with that lager. But for me, it's just not quite malty enough. It's not quite as sweet as I like my Helles beers, but it is an Orcadian Helles, whether obviously it's very Viking influenced by the can art, whether this is a bit more kind of, I don't know, a bit more sort of rustic and got a bit more history tied to it, I don't know. It's a very different drinking experience. I've nearly done a can, so I've got, and it feels like it's gone in 2 seconds. But reviewing it as an IPL, it's very good. It's very clean. It's crisp, very crisp. That dry, crisp finish kind of encourages back into the beer, and I really like that. If we're talking about an IPL, not a Helles, it's not quite Helles for me. This beer. The Vikings use Stromness, as a safe harbour when travelling to and from and round the Orkney Islands. This haven of Hafn is Old Norse, protected their longboats from strong tidal streams by its natural headland. This port still offers shelter for boats today, as it did long before the Norsemen came to Orkney. Hafn Helles is a lager beer taking overseas inspiration from Germany and the Czech Republic. Okay, that Czech Republic thing is probably going to be... Yeah, I've just said it. Spicy Saaz hops. It's very different. Brewed with using herbal, Teknang and spicy Saaz hops with a crisp, refreshing body and lighter lager malt. Okay, reading the back of the can, that makes absolute sense, and it's exactly how I found the beer. My one thing would be, if you're buying this and you're kind of thinking, oh, might I get that kind of sweet, typical German Helles from British brewer? No, it's just very different. It's very nice. It's just different. It kind of took my Helles to me is a very kind of you can't do much with a Helles beer, if you know what I mean. It's the best example of a Helles that I've had recently is a British Helles from Hackney Church called can't remember. The can's probably around here somewhere. And that was very, very good. And that was just that was very, very good because it was very much in its lane. Whereas this is a bit different. I don't know. For the purist, you're going to have a bit of a problem with it. I think if you're going to just be a little bit more kind of go with the flow a little bit, and it is described as an Orcadian Helles, so yeah, fair enough. If you want to go with the flow a little bit, there are a lot of things to enjoy. It's clean, it's crisp, it's refreshing. The water quality is fantastic. The hop quality is absolutely there. It's very, very punchy. But like I say, probably more of an IPL lager for me, or an IP lager. But yeah, pretty decent all the same. How would I rate it? I'm going to give that a 3.5 out of 5. Glenn, thank you very much for giving it to me. I hope you've drunk it, and I'd be interested. Let me know in the comment your thoughts. Don't message me on Instagram. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. To see what you think. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. I will see you on the next one. Cheers.